Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the ElementalMaker. Today, as quite a few of you know, I'm a bit of a Makita fanboy. What else do we got here? Oh, there we go. Alright. That's most of my collection. But today, I wanted to focus on this particular piece of crap that Makita chooses to include in their contractor sets or whatever big sets. Oh, here's another surprise. Look at this. Some of you guys might find this surprising. Hearing protection. I do have it. It's a real thing. But today, we're focusing on this piece of garbage. So you can see here, standard Makita light. It's got a decent little beam on it. In the dark, you can see it's decent. But my main complaint with it is, one, it's an incandescent style bulb. Now, I do think it is a pretty high grade halogen style bulb. They even give you a backup like that. Beautiful. But with technology being what it is today, why the hell would you even consider using an incandescent bulb? It baffles the mind. So, my game plan here is to convert this over to LED. And, I mean, it is a pretty nice light. It's got nice detents, it sits nice and stable, you can aim it at your project, but it just doesn't have the light output that I'm looking for. It's just not there. So what I got, special delivery from Amazon, are some of these cheap Chinese bar lights. And we're just going to be using one of them, so the other one maybe I'll mount on an ATV or something. Look at that. They even have a 2-year warranty for an $11 light. It is pretty freaking incredible. $11 for 2 of these. I mean, and that's shipping, manufacturing, design, all that work for 11 bucks. It's absolutely incredible. Now, I'm sure the quality's not quite there to some of the name brands, but we'll tear this sucker apart before we harvest the emitter portion of it. Take a look at it. Get in your home. All right. So let's tear into her real quick. So what I'm really curious to see is if this is actually real heat sinking. Now, I could just power it up and let it run for a while and see if it gets hot, but I want to see how well they have those emitters integrated to the heat sink, because I'm betting it's not too well. The threads feel crusty as hell. It's horrific. Now, this is supposed to be waterproof, so let's see. With the cover off here, color me impressed. So we got the leads going in. They're actually fully epoxied in place, which that's a pretty nice feature. This isn't silicone, it's a rigid epoxy. And the gasket actually, it's pretty nice. You can see the amount of shavings that are in here. That's probably where your water would find. So I'm actually kind of impressed by this. I do think it would probably hold up to some pretty wet use. And they're just using like a standard butylene rubber. Nothing too impressive. Oh, now here I am impressed. So they actually have the board mounted to the aluminum. So these things are really actively cooling. Well, I mean, it's not an active cooling system, it's passive because there's no forced air. But when you're moving, the turbulence would actually kind of create an active cooling system. So looking here on the front side of things, they actually have this, it's a silicone of some sort, and they have that sandwich between the plastic and the gasket. So they're actually doing a good job of stopping the ingress of water here. I mean, this will do it, in my opinion. This would probably even be fully submersible up to a point, given that everything seals correctly. I thought this was going to be really chintzy and really crappy, but I'm really impressed. I think the board will probably be the deciding factor as to whether or not this is actually a good unit here. And this is plastic. Okay, so it's not glass. So it's looks like acrylic. Might be polycarb. Okay. Son of a gun, is that actually... okay, putting the safety glasses on, I'm gonna really test this sucker. Got the ball penis. Alright. That's definitely polycarbonate. I'm pretty sure acrylic would have disintegrated in my face. So it is... There's a thermal paste there. Looks like they just got a real simple, probably just a buck converter going on. You got the inductor here, cap over there, because this runs off, if I remember correctly, 9 to 24 volts. So, be interested to test that real quick. Now that we actually have some power supplies, let's give it a go. Alright, specifications. 9 to 30 volts. So it's 7.5, they just start conducting. And at 9 volts, they are going, but they're a little weak. 12 volts, they're throwing a good bit of power. So at 30 volts, they're drawing 0.23 watts, or 0.23 amps. So our total wattage is right about 7. Now these are rated, again, let me check, I'm pretty sure they're rated. So they're rated 18 watts. So that's a little... And here we're getting 6 watts. So I think the power rating is a little optimistic. I'm smelling some bullshit. That is unfortunate. I'm calling bullshit on the 18 watt rating. You know, more like 6 or 7 watts is what you're really going to get out of these. But otherwise a nice product. So let's unmount this sucker now and see if we can't stick that board in our Makita light there. I mean, all this engineering and doing stuff right, and then they cheap out on the board. I mean, it's a decent board, don't get me wrong, but the fact that they're advertising, even here it says 18W, which I'm imagining means 18 watts. But anyway, 7 watts of LED power is going to be a lot more than that little piece of garbage incandescent. And my main concern here is basically still the heatsink. So this aluminum is pretty thin. This board's going to heat up really, really quickly without any kind of heat sinking on it. So let me just see here if we run this board for a little bit. And it's starting to get warm. Starting to get pretty hot now. Now she's getting up there. That's getting quite hot to the touch. Yeah, yep. Shut her down. Gonna burn that sucker out. Very hot. So I can't just slap it in there without adding some sort of heat sinking. So given the shape of this, we don't have a whole lot of room to work with. So what I'm thinking is, and it's not going to be optimal, but it should work for a time at least. Basically just turn a little piece of, you know, thick aluminum stock on my lathe. I think I have some 1-inch laying around, so that'll at least soak up some of that heat and keep it cool for a while. Now it still will eventually overheat because there's really no way of air getting around and in this housing. So that's a bummer. Oh yeah. Just using a 2.5mm drill bit here for an M3. Alright, that should be plenty of depth. And I'll just tap her by hand on the bench. It is a blind hole, so I'm gonna have to get a little more cognizant of chips for the tap. It's a risky game here. This is my only M3 tap. Yeah, the shavings left in there will just add extra thermal mass. That's what they're there for. So now we can locate the center and punch our other two holes, which are also M3. Alright, so I just got these suckers all tapped out, M3, and to clean it up, some cum gutter, everybody's favorite. Blow everything right out of them holes. Good. Should have a nice degreased part now. Ah, the smell of fresh cancer is good. Alright, so let's get her together now. Put some thermal paste on here. Yeah, that's a pretty good application in my book. Reflector, some kind of aluminized, or it's like an aluminized plastic, which, yeah, you're not going to see an aluminum reflector on something this cheap. So, now to see if it'll fit inside the Makita. Should probably do a run test on it first, right? Make sure it can run for a few minutes at full kilt without getting too hot. So we'll crank her up to 18 volts as the Makita would be running. Alright, so she's been running for about 10 minutes. You can see our ambient temperatures, 23, 24 Celsius. Just get an idea where this is. Alright, so 10 minutes in, we're at 51 Celsius. Let's see if we can't get that to stay on there. Set a timer here for 15 minutes, and I'll see you then. And welcome back. We're right past 15 minutes. So this thing's been running for probably just under half an hour, and it's kind of equalized right around 68, 69. 69! So I think we're in pretty good shape. I mean, lots of LEDs operate at 80 Celsius all the time, so we got a little bit of a buffer there. Time to slap this sucker in here. This thing just kind of yanks off. And here's our electrical contacts. So the wires on each side, well, not wires, but contacts, are touching this as they rotate. That makes it a little more challenging, but so my thought is to basically eliminate these contacts and just run a stranded wire straight up through her. Alright, so I just drilled a 1764 hole where the lanyard attachment used to be. Never used it anyway, so no loss there. Just gonna squeeze her back together here. Alright, so we got her back together. Now we'll route this through the top. Pull that on through. Get just enough slack for full extension there. Now we just need to stick our board in there. Yeah, we're gonna have to trim the edges a little bit on both the reflector and the circuit board to the bench grinder. Alright, fresh off the bench grinder. First freaking shot. That never happens. Okay. So I think we're clear on all edges. The lens and whatnot will positively affix this in here. There will be some air gap, you'll see, but who cares? It's a work light. So at this point I'll just solder this sucker up and we're done. Beauty. Alright, so let's force her back there. Shove the shroud on. Alright, she's pretty secure in there. Does that look pretty badass or what? Tell Makita to fix themselves. Oh yeah. Now we got a proper light. And the nice thing is this is a flood dispersion as opposed to the original bulb, which is pretty much a spot. So I tend to always prefer floodlights over spot. Lights up the workbench beautifully. I do wish the board had a little more power to it, but at the same time that would overwhelm the small heatsink we were able to attach to it. So it's kind of a win that it's quite under what they sold it as. But I like this. Lights up the shop nice. That'll be good for little portable jobs. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully there was something to learn in all this. I have no idea what, but maybe you learned something. If you like what we're doing here, please don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, and if you're able to, please donate on Patreon to help me keep these videos rolling. I love doing this stuff, but it is pretty pricey. So I will see you guys next time. Have a great one.